Welcome back. Former FBI Director James Comey expected to surrender today to authorities after being indicted yesterday on 2 charges. The charges include false statements within jurisdiction of the legislative branch and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. Both alleged crimes relate to Comey's testimony during a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing back in 2020 on the investigation into ties between Russia and President Trump's 2016 campaign. Comey responded to the indictment in an Instagram video last night. Watch.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial and keep the faith.
Comey is set to be arraigned on October 9th in Alexandria, Virginia. President Trump responded to the indictment on Truth Social this morning, writing, "James Dirty Cop Comey was a destroyer of lives. He knew exactly what he was saying and that it was a very serious and far-reaching lie for which a very big price must be paid." Joining me now is Texas Congressman Dan Crenshaw. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. We are scrubbing these charges, and we want to get your analysis on it. Let me just tell you that the judge assigned to Comey's case is a 2021 Biden appointee, Judge Michael Nachmanoff. How does that fit into your thinking here? And give us your reaction to all of this.
Well, I think, people like Director Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, they're making good on their promises, I think, on what the American people wanted, which was holding a lot of these people accountable for a lot of the transgressions that occurred with respect to Crossfire Hurricane. This is one indictment on a very specific charge, lying to Congress. And I'm still combing through exactly what that indictment is as well. So lying to Congress about, I think, authorizing an FBI agent to become an anonymous source to the Clinton campaign. I don't really understand more details than that, as this is kind of new and breaking news.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, this is about accountability. And I think that's what a lot of people have been asking for. Okay, so clearly something went wrong. We've had multiple reports, whether even the Mueller report, and especially the Durham report, really showed that there was malfeasance that occurred. There was mistakes that occurred, deliberate mistakes that occurred in obtaining FISA warrants on American citizens, going after the Trump campaign. And people feel like there was no accountability. I mean, a lot of those who did it were fired. But people ask, why is there no criminal accountability? Now, at the time, the laws did not allow for that. We have since changed those laws, and since we've authorized FISA again, so that could never happen again.
Yeah.
But this is a different story. This is about lying to Congress under oath, and Comey needs accountability for that. And he doesn't just get to walk through the woods and write poetry and do other weird things and post on Instagram anymore. He's got to actually have to face it. And this isn't going after Trump. One last thing. This is not going. This is like, I'm standing up to Trump, so these are the consequences.
Yeah.
No, a grand jury of U.S. citizens indicted you. So.
Well, I remember that at one point Comey did say that he sent confidential information to a professor friend, and he was hoping that that professor friend would leak to the media because he wanted to get it out into the media because he wanted a special counsel named, right? And so he admitted that already. And I'm wondering, the idea of false statements and the idea of obstruction. Now, that whole investigation, was there obstruction, or is this a gateway to further charges? That's what Nicole Parker told us at the top of the show. She's a former FBI agent. She said, well, this I see as a gateway into other charges. So when you consider what took place in the whole made-up Russia collusion story, do you see this as a gateway to perhaps even further criminality? Or is this simply about they're charging he lied in that hearing, said, no, I've never been involved in leaking to the media. His colleague, Andrew McCabe, said, I leaked it to the media and it was, directed by Comey, although Andrew McCarthy just said, no, he didn't say that Comey directed him. So we want to know exactly what Comey said and whether or not he was involved in that leak to the media.
Yeah, and And then if it come out in the trial, I suppose, as far as to speculate where this goes, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't. I mean, I don't have access to this investigation.
Okay.
That's a question for somebody from the FBI. Currently at the FBI, it's very hard to say. I think this indictment is representative of what we can get him on right now.
Yeah.
The clear evidence of lying to Congress under oath. I don't know where it goes from here, to be honest.
Well, we want to talk with lawyers to fact check all of this, to understand what the stakes are. But let me get your take on the business at hand in terms of your business, and that is you've got one legislative day left to avoid a government shutdown. Your colleagues on the left are downplaying the warning from the White House that if we have a government shutdown, we're going to see large-scale layoffs. What do you think happens on Tuesday, September 30th, when the government runs out of money at midnight? It feels like at this point, we're going to have a shutdown, and the question is more about the length of that shutdown. November 1st, you've got the Affordable Care Act open enrollment possible. Is that a possible off-ramp in terms of opening up again? What do you think happens?
Yeah, well, the Democrats are making some highly outlandish demands. I mean, I think like a $1.5 trillion demand for a clean, 5-week CR, which is just nuts. It's pretty clear that they have no desire to govern and that they want the government to shut down. If they think that the American people are somehow going to blame Trump and Republicans for this shutdown, like the House has already passed a clean CR. We passed these clean short-term CRs so that we can keep negotiating in good faith without shutting down the government, firing employees, furloughing employees, creating that kind of havoc that happens when you shut down the government. For the Democrats to demand such outlandish things, I mean, they want the ACA tax credits to come back that were specifically designed for COVID. That's tens of billions of dollars a month. They want a bunch of other things. Again, it's about $1.5 trillion we're talking about. These are very outlandish demands. I don't know where they think they're going to get the political capital to do this or how they think they're going to spin this. It's absolutely crazy. So I don't know. What I hope happens is Schumer is beating his chest, right? Because they've got to raise money from their base, and their base wants to always go
Trump
against Republicans and Donald Trump. But I'm hoping that there's a few sensible. Right, but I'm hoping there's a few sensible Senate Democrats that cross over and say, look, for the sake of the country, you have to have at least a short-term CR so that we can keep talking like normal people.
You would expect so. Congressman, it's good to see you. We'll be following it all. Thank you, sir. Dan Crenshaw joining us on all of that.